Alright, what is up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the struts for your trunk on an SC400 or 300. It should be the same thing. Yeah, so let's just jump right into it. So first things first, you're going to want to use something to prop up your trunk. If yours is as bad as mine, you'll know that this thing does not stay up, so I'm just using the handle from a jack stand to prop it up. Step 2, you're going to want to empty out everything in your trunk, including removing this Lexus mat as well as the tire cover as well. So let's do that. Alright, so next thing you want to do, in my car, I don't think I have them in. Well, obviously I don't have them in, but there's going to be 2 clips, one there, one on the other side right there. You're going to want to remove those. Underneath, there will be some clips right on up here in this area. There's one right here. They're pretty much all along this area, and I tested it out. You can just pull them out gently. You're not going to break them. You don't need a flathead. I mean, if you have one, it might help, but it's not necessary. So yeah, let's remove that. All right, so now that that's removed, obviously you can see it doesn't need to be removed all the way, just enough to access the back compartment, which contains your fuel pump, your gas tank, gas fill, and our blown out shocks. Well, at least mine are. I'm sure yours might be too since you're watching this. So there's one there, and there's one here. So next up, you're gonna need a 12mm, I believe, wrench and a flathead screwdriver. I don't have any metric size wrenches at the moment, so if you're using standard or American, whatever you want to call it, 1/2 inch works just as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew this bolt, or nut, I should say, at the top of the strut. Over there in the back, you're going to see that clip that's on it. What you want to do with your screwdriver, which is where this will come in handy, and there goes my truck. These 2 little clips right here, you're gonna want to pry them outward. So this one's gonna go like that, that one's gonna get pried outward, and that's gonna allow us to remove the strut. All right, so mine is now removed. You can see that's where the end of it was attached. That's where the top of the strut, I'm sorry, was. This being the top. Mine in particular was on there very tight. As you can see, there's a lot of Loctite on it. Yours might have that too. I'm not sure if that's factory or not, but it was very hard to remove. So I ended up having to use vice grips to take it off. Fortunately though, pretty much all the replacement struts that you buy will have replacement, I'm not sure what you would call this. I'm gonna call it a bolt. Replacement bolts come with them. These are Struts. These are from strutsdepot.com. I got these for about 20 bucks. So now what you're gonna do is you're going to get the new bolts. As you can see here, you're gonna wanna re-add some Loctite onto them, or any type of thread locker really, just to make sure that the vibrations don't loosen them up over time. And that is gonna go in the same place that that guy was up there. Mine's a little dirty, so I'm gonna clean the threads a bit before I put it in. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and install these bolts before the actual strut body itself. Also, just a quick note, there also is a washer that will come with them. Don't forget that washer, make sure you install that as well. So there's my Loctite that I have all over the, I'm sorry, it's not Loctite. I hate people that do that. It's not Loctite, it's thread locker. But yeah, so it's on there, you can see. All right, so now we're about to mount the new strut. You can see here. There's the part number if you guys like to purchase it from this website, just to make it a little easier. So what you're gonna wanna do now that you have that new bolt in with the joint on it, that's gonna pop into the top of the shock body right in here, right inside this, this little area. So what you wanna do is you wanna make sure while that socket, we'll call it, is pointed at you, you go down the shock body, and this is the correct orientation. You want to make sure these clips, how they split like that, are on the back side of this socket, if that makes sense. So there's the socket on top, end of those clips wrapped around to the back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this back part on first. This is going to get on right back there onto that little peg, and it's pretty much just gonna snap in place. You can see how on mine, this clip wants to, sorry for this quality, I don't know why it doesn't focus. You'll see the clip wants to slide down. Make sure it's centered right about over here to make sure it catches. Don't let it slide all the way down, it's not gonna go through, obviously. Okay, so now it's snapped on. Now what we're gonna do, this socket right here on the other side, we're gonna bring it up and it's gonna pop right into this guy here. In order to do this, your trunk has to be fully open. So if you have something propping it up like I do, you're gonna need both hands. You're gonna need to hold it open with one hand. You wanna open maxed out all the way. Or you can have a friend hold it for you. So I'm gonna put the phone down and I'm gonna hop in. Also, a side note, while you do this, there are bump stops up here on these support bars that hold your trunk up. So you're gonna find that your struts may be a little too long to get on there, even after you pull the hood open, or I'm sorry, not the hood, the trunk all the way. You're gonna need to remove those. That way you have as maximum amount of travel as possible to get this socket on top of this joint here. So I'm gonna do that real quick. All right, so you can see I have it popped into place. You can see where that bump stop was. This is the bump stop. It's super easy to take off. You literally just lift one side of it and it'll unclip from that bar. You can see it has that little divot on it. That's just gonna go right into this hole right here. I do the back one because you can see that there's two. I do that one towards the right. And just like that, it's back on there. Already with just this one strut being replaced, my trunk will fully hold itself up. So adding the second one will be really good. Speaking of the second one, it's gonna be the same exact process on this side. I'm not gonna show you guys just because I kind of already did it over there. So I'm gonna do it off camera. That way it's a little bit more of a speedy process, but it's the exact same process with the joint up there, the bump stop, the clip in the back, everything's gonna be exactly the same. And I'll get back to you guys once they are completely put in and the trunk is put back together. Also, as a side note, the reason why we have to take those out and we can't just leave them in, once those, we'll call them ball joints, get into the sockets, they don't come out. So that's why we have to take them out and replace them with new ones. All right, guys, so that's it. Struts are put in. Trim is put back. Oops, missed a clip there. I'll go back to that one. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can see the trunk stays open completely on its own now without the need of a support anymore. Bringing it down, you actually have to bring it, you know, use some force when you close it. It's actually pretty nice. So let's test opening it up. Whew. Look at that. Oh my God, I'm sure that's a good sight for sore eyes. If you guys are anything like me with worn out struts in your trunk for a while, man, that's a nice sight. Don't even have to touch it, except for when you close it. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Sorry if this video is kind of all over the place. This was my first time really making a video like this, so my instructions and everything might have been a little unorganized. I do apologize for that, but I hope this helps. I know there's other videos out there showing you guys how to do this, but I just figured I'd give you guys my take. All right, guys, take care.